Just like in my last video, when you're going through a spiritual awakening, your life changes so many different ways. And I think I want to go down the list of all the ways that my life has changed after having a spiritual awakening. Not only is today my birthday, but also because some of these things in the last till this day, in the last 34 years of my life, has been, really important for me. I'm very grateful. I've had some amazing epiphanies, and I'm just really happy to be able to share them with you. The first one I want to mention is that my life completely changed when I noticed that people are truly trying their best. I know that it's hard to fathom that people are truly trying their best because of all the situations that you've been hurt. And I think it's important for me to explain what I mean by people are truly trying their best. So, we're in this world, right? We're born, we choose our parents, we choose our family, and things like that. Um, as we're moving through life, we all make mistakes, right? And in those mistakes, in the moment that we make them, we have a certain theme of consciousness. So I personally don't say levels of consciousness because I feel like it's a little arrogant. I say theme of consciousness. It simply means the moment in our life where we believe what we believe. So some people, right out of the gates, they're wise people. They know right from wrong. They know that they should use perfect examples of the people that are perfect around them, etc., etc. And that changes their theme of consciousness, the way that they think in that moment in their life. And there's some people who unfortunately don't have those positive examples around them. So their theme of consciousness isn't the most positive theme of consciousness. And in those moments, what I'm trying to get at here is in those moments when they make these choices, when you make these choices, it's based on your theme of consciousness, where you're at in that moment. So think back, and this is me giving you an example about yourself. Think back to a moment in time in the past where you made a mistake, and it's something that kind of comes up for you every once in a while, and it kind of makes you feel a little bad, and maybe it gives you chills, it makes you cringe a little bit, and you say, well, I'm no longer that person. And that's the truth. You are no longer that person. That's why you have those emotions when you think about that thing. But in that moment, you were that person and you were trying the best that you can because that's who you were in that moment. So, the best that we can, trying the best that we can, changes throughout time, and it changes based on our levels of consciousness, themes of consciousness. So that's my opinion there. So the second thing that changed my life was learning that life itself is a mirror, meaning that everything around us, everything that happens to us, everything that we see, that we experience, is a mirror to who we are in that moment. Um, that goes back to talking about perception and our perception changing based off of how we see things, our themes of consciousness. So, life being a mirror, meaning that if you are struggling with something, it's a mirror of how you feel about yourself from the inside. Meaning that if you are truly struggling with who you are, that's exactly what you're going to see outside of your life. Your level of vibration is probably another term that you've heard before. You are vibrating low, so you're going to attract people who are also vibrating low. And the goal is to vibrate high and become positive or more positive and become more understanding, more compassionate of not just others, but also yourself. And that's a little bit of another video that I think I'm going to do where I talk about ways that you can vibrate higher. But going back to life being a mirror, in order for you to truly see and grow and understand, I don't know, better understand yourself and other people, is realizing that if you want to change what's around you, then you change yourself. You change what's inside of you. That goes into the third thing, and that is what you pay attention to, what you focus on, it has repercussions. Like it becomes something that you are paying energy to, that you are giving, um, your energy to. And it's in a way, it's just like if you were to pay your taxes, you're paying tax on that feeling, and you are becoming someone who is mirroring what you don't want, or maybe what you do want in that sense. It doesn't always have to be something negative. So avoid paying attention to things that you don't want to pay attention to. Pay energy taxes on. So the fourth thing I want to mention is flow state. And this is something I'm sure you've heard of in school, because some teachers, especially during exams and everything, they bring up being in flow state and making sure that you are not focusing on anything from the outside. You're kind of going with the flow, right? Flow state to me is when you are allowing is such an amazing word, and think about how that feels compared to resisting, but allowing the energies around you to continue and flowing with them. A perfect example is if you were to picture yourself in a creek bed or a body of water of anything where there's a current flowing. You are flowing with the current. And when you're not flowing, you're that rock that's stuck at the very bottom and the water's flowing around you. And unfortunately, with the rock, you don't really get a chance to move that much because you're so heavy. And in this case, or in this example, you're heavy of feelings, resentments. Well, that's a big one for some people, right? Resentment. That's another video. But you're allowing all of those emotions to weigh you down like the rock while the water flows around you. What you really want to do is float with the water, become the water, if you want to say it that way or think of it that way. So for me personally, flow state is allowing and receiving the energies that I need to receive and allow to do the things that I want to do and not resist. And a perfect example of resistance is thinking, bad self-talk, allowing other people to dictate what you want to do in your life. What else is another perfect example of resistance? Overthinking, overanalyzing, for all you overthinkers over there, all you Aquarians out there that overthink about everything. I know, personally. Another way is, let's see, overthinking, overanalyzing, low self-esteem. I mean, I could probably go on and on, but all of that is weighing you down like that boulder in the water, like that rock in the water. And what you want is to flow. So in order for you to do that, it's simply just allowing yourself to have positive self-talk, allowing yourself to raise your vibration, going back to that, allowing yourself to realize that nothing in this world is permanent. It is all able to be changed, and you are the person that can change it. You're the person that can alchemize that rock and turn it into the water so that it continues flowing. Now, the fifth one kind of goes back to something I mentioned when I first started this video, and that is that we choose our parents, we choose our family, we choose our life ultimately when we are on the other side or on another astral plane. I know that's a little hard for some people to imagine. It's like, why would I choose a mother who didn't love me? Or why would I choose this particular life? Like, it sounds insane. Why would I do that to myself? And the question is, that's a perfect question. Why would you do that to yourself? If the whole goal is for you to be here on earth to learn and grow, love unconditionally, to show compassion, to raise your vibration, and basically just become a better person or a great person in general, then wouldn't you choose the life that you had, right? Let's say, for instance, unfortunately you have, disclaimer here, bringing up some things that might be a little triggering for some people, but let's say you have a life of abuse, and it's really heavy abuse, and you're asking, like, why would I choose that for myself? Well, you chose that because what better way to grow than to be put in situations where you have no choice to? You have no choice. You literally have nowhere to go but up. You've hit rock bottom. You were born at rock bottom. So where can you go from now but up? So use that fact, or I would say fact. You might disagree with me, but use that information to grow and become just better people. Um, let's say you're born and you were extremely privileged and you've never wanted for anything and you have always had money and you're like, well, I've had this, so I chose this life because I won the lottery, and on the other side, when I was a soul, I got a chance to be someone who most people would want to be. It's like, yeah, you could think of it that way, or you could think of it in a way that I've had all these things, but I've also had a mindset where I am too privileged and I'm too selfish and I'm not thinking about other people. So in a way, it's the same thing. It doesn't matter about what you have, like in materials. It's simply about your mindset. So think about when you were a kid, how your mindset has changed and where you are now. And if it's for the better, then you're on the right track, you know? And if it's not, then ask yourself again, why did you choose this life? And how can you take that information and alchemize it again and change it to something that you want it to be so that you can continue growing? So this is a personal message to all my Aquarians out there who's having a birthday this month and next month, and you're also over analyzers and you're overthinking everything and you think that time is slipping by and you haven't become the person that you want it to become. This is my message to you. You are not running out of time. You have an endless, infinite amount of time to be the person that you want to be. What you're gonna do is slow down. Take some time to smell the roses. Quite literally, walk outside and smell the flowers outside that you pass by every single day, but you didn't realize it because you're on TikTok for hours looking for the next hobby. So slow down, meditate, take some time to yourself. It is okay to be alone. It's not okay to isolate when you're triggered. And just know that I love you and so do other people. So answer your text messages. All right, I really hope that you liked this video. I'm going to go ahead and probably take certain things out of this video and make another video, and I'm really excited to do that. And if you noticed any, or if you have a comment about anything that I said, please make sure that you comment. Thank you for existing. I love you, and you have a good night.